Yeah, that's okay. That's $40. Oh, did I already? Yeah. All right, now. Oh, really?
Brothers, please find your seats. Brothers, please find your seats. Brothers and guests, I call this meeting to order. I call upon our worthy district deputy to please lead us in prayer. Please stand or kneel.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this time we're able to be together in your name, so that truly we can share our ideas, come together as men in a fraternal spirit to make a difference in our communities, in our domestic churches, and in our families. And just throughout this time, when we are in such strife, when it comes to war, when it comes to violence, and when it comes to just uncertainty about our very next move, Father God. We pray tonight that we're able to execute this meeting in a way that is pleasing to you, and that we go away edified, and that we learn, Father God. I'm going to pray the prayer for Blessed Joseph, the guardian of the Holy Family. Hail, guardian of the Redeemer, spouse of the Blessed Virgin Mary. To you God entrusted his only Son. In you Mary placed her trust. With you Christ became man. Blessed Joseph, to us too, show yourself a father, and guide us in the path of life. Obtain for us grace, mercy, and courage, and defend us from every evil. Amen. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Brothers, please stay standing, face the flag as we say the pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Reading the minutes of the last meeting have been written, recorded, and emailed to the council. Are there any corrections to the minutes of the last meeting? Brother Rich?
Worthy Grant, I'd like to make a motion if you have any intention of read those minutes. If I pass the reading, accept them as written and published.
Okay, there's a second. Motion and seconded. All those in favor of approving the minutes as written and emailed?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is passed. Thanks, Brother Rich. Okay, I want to move on to our worthy treasurer, Bruce Haney, his report for the treasurer.
A little ahead of it in the agenda than normal because I've got to go pick up my son at the airport here very shortly. Just very briefly, in terms of treasurer's report, we had deposits of $3,063.18. We had payments of $16,619.68, and so our ending balance is $13,339.62 in the checking account. We have our $150 of petty cash and $25 in savings. And what I will be doing, we're moving into space where we are making very large donation disbursements out to those missions in the community that really make a difference in the community. We get a lot of thank you letters back from those. And I'm going to be scanning those letters and cards that come back and sending them to our worthy grant night, to our recorder, and to the officers, and then they can be dispersed out to the entire council so you can see those thank you notes. Because there is a lot of appreciation for the good that we're doing to support those missions out in the community. That's my report.
Thank you, Brother Bruce. I'd like to move on to our financial secretary, worthy financial secretary, Joe Stosky. Please give your report.
Okay, the council membership stands at 389. Our goal this year for membership is 15, and we are currently at 13, so we're at 87% membership. And December 31st would mark the halfway point of the year. So we have a exemplification coming up later in this month, and I think we'll probably get a couple in by then and be at goal at the halfway point of the year. Or at least we should be. Just bring in 2 more people, more nights at the next exemplification. With that, I have books up here. If anybody would like an Advent book, they're over here for a donation. See the table. Also, if you don't have your name badge and you ordered a name badge, I've got name badges over here. But the last group, the guys that just went through the exemplification last month, I don't have yours in yet. They still haven't arrived. I'll probably do it tomorrow. That's the way it always works. But they're on their way, and I should have them shortly. We just brought in 7 members last month, and so I ordered their name badges, and they're on their way. Also, if shirts. Yeah, if you'd like a shirt or an apron, got a new supply of shirts in over here. So please come over here and see me. This is the regular council polo, not the long sleeve shirt, not the assembly shirt. for the grant.
If you need a shirt or an apron, please see Daryl after the meeting. Also, we plan on ordering a few more long sleeve light blue shirts. We're out of large and mediums right now. We'll probably end up ordering another 5 so that we have them in stock. And that'll be those. All right. Worthy Warden, Brother Joe James, would you please give the Life Committee report?
We will be meeting, whoever wants to join us, down at Planned Parenthood, third Saturday, which is November the 19th. Poultry at 9:30 and the anniversary at 10.
And if you'd remain standing and give the Family Committee report of the food drive.
Oh, food drive, of course, and I want to thank everybody who helped. It went beautifully, we raised over 12,000 pounds. That's 6 tons of food. I got a lot of compliments from St. Vincent de Paul and very pleased, and I hope to do more next year. Thank you for all your help. Everyone chipped in.
Brother Joe, I just turned over $450 in cash to the treasurer tonight. That's cash and checks for the food drive. So those were cash donations to help out St. Vincent.
Thank you. 450 in cash.
Good job. Good job. And definitely thanks to the parish for coming through as they do every year. Thank you, Brother Joe. All right. I'll move on to Brother Ray Henson for the Membership Committee report. Brother Ray.
Okay, good evening, brothers. Well, as Brother Daryl has just spoken, we are 2 members within making our goal this year, fraternal year, and there was 6 new members that we exemplified this past October 20th, as well as 1 transferring night. Their names are David Brooks. He's from Twin Falls, and he was accompanied by his family. Brian Matson, who lives in Eagle. Daniel Vincent, he was in Meridian, and he was accompanied by his fiance and numerous close friends. It was a regular crowd in the day chapel. Also, Shalish Montero was a new member, as well as Ron L. McNutt and his son, Ron C. McNutt. And there was a transfer from, I'm not exactly sure where Thomas Bebione transferred from, but he was there as well. So are there any of those new nights that I just mentioned here this evening? Would you please stand, please, and tell us your name?
Brian Matson.
Welcome, Brian. Welcome, Brian. And senior, Ron McNutt. Okay, 2 members are, actually there's 2 E-members already lined up and ready to join us as an exemplification on the 17th of November. That's the 3rd Thursday. The 17th, that number just kind of rings in my mind. I don't know why, but anyway, it's the third Thursday of the month. And those 2 E-members' names are Dr. Jonathan Giles or Giles. He's from Star. He can't be a very bad fellow at all if he lives in Star. And Craig Shamp. He lives in Eagle, Idaho himself. And I've already got a verbal commitments from them. So very possibly after the 17th, we'll have met our goal. Also, there's another brother here who we exemplified, I think, a couple months ago. His name is Steve Sherrard. Steve, would you like to stand? It's Steve, because he has a nighttime job and he couldn't make it on a Thursday. So we got the team together and we said, sure, well, let's do a degree on a Friday. Why not? We don't have anything else to do. So, so we did. We did a Friday evening exemplification for him because he really, really wanted to get exemplified and get into the night. So with that kind of determination, we could not say no. So that's pretty much what I've got. Good news, hopefully, next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ray.
Right.
Okay, remember that's the third Thursday of the month, November 17th, and it'll begin at 7 in the day chapel, 7 p.m. So please come support our new nights. All right, I'd like to move on to the community committee report. Brother Fred Klein, please give your report.
Thank you, Brother Green Knight. Fellow brothers, so the community committee has a number of different programs going on. You heard from me about these. I will talk about the Lead No Neighbor Behind and then program, and then we'll have Mike Newell talk about Corpus Christi House, and Joe Cardona is going to review about the blood drive that we had in October. The Leave No Neighbor Behind project, I think most of you are familiar with that, but I want to make a special invitation for the new knights who are joining our council. We are looking for people to join us in our committee, and we have lots of things to do. We have been basically going over every month doing a subsection or a number of brothers of our council. And you heard we have 385 plus brothers, and we're trying to contact all of them and check on them. And basically it's a reach out or outreach program. We've had a lot of good stories and successes of reaching people who have not had anyone reach out to them for a long time. And so we would invite you to be part of the phone call / email part of the committee to be able to reach out to these folks. It's really rewarding for us, the folks who are making the calls, to be able to reach to their fellow brothers. And I think some of you may have already received some calls here yourself. My email is, you can go on the website and there's a sign up on the website for to be involved in the community committee. And you can put your information in there, or you can see me after this meeting and I can give you my email. We're going to, we do, like I said, about a monthly, monthly number of calls and then finish those and do the next month. So we're collecting folks who are interested for November. And then we usually make the calls by the end of it. So it's not a high pressure type of commitment, but we're looking for folks to help out so we can reach everybody in the next couple of months. So we're more than halfway through the roster. Thank you for your attention, and I'll turn it over to Joe, if that's okay with you.
So the blood drive, we were successful. We were 62 for 62. And although we had some no-shows, we were able, learning to have knights waiting in the wing to take their place and get them processed really quickly. I learned, I've been involved with the blood drive for about 10 years, but from Ron Catco, further on Catco, took it over for the last 3 years. And I finally learned that when the Red Cross says your goal is such and such a number, so in this case, 62, that in actuality, they have factored in the no-shows, the people that clinically cannot give blood, and so they're down around 50, maybe 52. That's what they're counting. So I learned that for the first time. And so with the coordinator, my liaison, I said, no, you said 62. I'm going to give you 62 units. And if someone can't get blood for whatever reason, for whatever reason, I mean, 2 blood drives in a row, I said, I have to get blood. The leader of it, take my blood. So anyway, we were 62 good units. So, our next one is 7 January. It's a Saturday. And the local community really appreciates having a blood drive on the weekend because there are people that want to get blood, but they work. And so on a weekend, we do 2 weekends a year. They can get blood. So we're well known throughout the Church of Baptist.
Thank you, Brother Joe. Good job. Good job. Brother Mike Newell.
Anyways, my name's Mike. We're running the program down at the Corpus Christi House, as you know, and we're doing pretty well. We've gotten used to worry about if we're going to be able to fill the bin. We don't have to worry about that anymore. The publication being advertised every week in the bulletin, e-bulletin, and also on the print bulletin. So we're getting plenty of goods to take down to the homeless community, to the day shelter. And of course, the weather's made a quick change here, and of course, finally, our focus has been on sleeping bags to warm winter clothing to all kinds of coffee cups and things like that. So the nice thing about this program is that we have 6 nights working full-time, doing the driver duties to go down. And so we're helping each other out, hopefully miss a beat, and we get the goods down there every week. So if you're interested in participating, just give us a holler, and we'll get you involved and see what that's about. It's very gratifying to go down there and see people who obviously need a lot of help and attention, get a big portion right here from this council and from the donation at large. So we're doing right. We're on target 2 deliveries a week, and that's about it.
Wow. Good deal. Thank you, Brother Mike. All right, so please see him if you want to be involved in maybe driving down there and helping out with Corpus Christi. The list is pretty long. Check your bulletin. It's always in the bulletin every week. So check the list. All right. Yep. I'd like to move on to our worthy insurance agent, Brother Andrew Sorley. Please give your report.
Worthy Grand Night. Been a minute. So is it like you guys missed me, or you guys were wondering where I was at? Whatever. I'm here. I think like last 2 times, one of them I was having car issues, and the other one was when you bumped up at a week forward, and I was anticipating a week back, so I'd already been booked. So I apologize, but here I am today. So, great things going on in this council. Congrats on all your new members. That's I think you got more new members than all my other councils combined. I think you got more new members in your last exemplification than all my councils combined. So you guys are kicking butt and all out gum and everything. So good stuff. 2 weeks ago, I was in New Haven. It was really awesome. Anyone here been to New Haven, Connecticut, St. Mary's and everything? Well, several people. Excellent. It's anyone that gets the opportunity, I strongly recommend. Really awesome. St. Mary's Church there. You've got Blessed Father Michael give these sarcophagus at the back. Downstairs, you have the basement where Council 1 was founded. It was super cool to be in there. It was a really cool experience. Strongly recommend if anyone gets a chance. I don't know if you guys seen the video for Father McGivney's miracle. It was absolutely awesome. I had previously heard the story, but I'd never seen the video. And when I was out there, I saw the video. It's one of the general agents, so the Tennessee equivalent of Kevin Turry. He's got 13 kids, and his 13th child had Down syndrome and high drops, which is a condition that's typically fatal. And they prayed to Father McGivney And the kid survived, and it was cool in the video saying, you know, Father McGivney was the first of 13 kids. He had to take care of, he had to chip in and put on his big boy pants, and well, you got, here's the youngest of 13. And one of our general agents was, that was the circumstance of the miracle for Father McGivney. And him being a child with special needs, it's all the more so appropriate. It's just kind of the textbook, perfect child for a miracle for Father McGivney. So that was super cool. If any of you guys want to check it out, just YouTube Father McGivney miracle. It's like a 7.5 minute video. Super cool. So, so there's that. You know, it's also really neat going there. The first field agent for the Knights of Columbus was Father McGivney. And, you know, protecting widows and orphans, that's what we were founded on. And it's very humbling for me to have to carry on his role. Of course, there's about 800 of us. I'm 1/800th of the Father McGivney. But it's very important what we do, and I encourage you guys to, you know, take a look at what we have to offer. Because protecting widows and orphans, that's really what we're all about. And here's an opportunity for you to protect your families and everything. And at the same time, contribute to all the charitable things we do. You know, that funds, all these things we do, like 1,500th ultrasound machine, we save thousands of babies with that. Just everything we do is so freaking awesome. So you guys are awesome, kicking butt out here in Meridian. You guys are an awesome council. So thanks for being an awesome council, and catch y'all later.
All right, with that, I'd like to call on Brother Joe Cardona for the report of the fourth degree. Brother Joe.
Good night. Well, so try to do different spin for some of you already listened to me enough. The biggest thing to report is the fact that we have our proposed budget approved for the year. And that's just in time for giving money to the VA. So Jake in patient advocacy collects gift cards, food gift cards. And did you know that Winco can issue a gift card, a food gift card that can't be used for anything else but food? You can't buy cigarettes, you can't buy just for food. And given inflation, instead of having $25 gift cards, we're going to give them approximately $600. We have it in our budget. That's why it was important to get the budget. We have it allocated that we'll end up giving them 12 $50 gift cards for them just in time for Christmas to help those. And the veterans that are on a modest fixed income really struggling. And you just imagine that $25 gift card could go a long way, but it doesn't. And so that we up to the 50. We're going to support financially for the bingo on the 17th of November. And there's one other thing, but I'm having to see in a moment. We're all dealing with the VA, so it's supporting the VA like it should be. And with that, tomorrow is voting, and I did a little discussion, as you know, that it's part of our mission to promote encouraging people to go out and vote. And the news works against us, and I just hate it because they make it sound like it's a football game. You know, when really voting is a sacred right. And these minute by minute predictions of red wave and no red wave, who's going to get elected, who's not. The most important thing is encouraging people, your neighbors, your friends, family, to get out and vote. And so we did talk about that today. I think that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Joe. All right, we're going to move on to new business. The first agenda topic of new business will be the baby bottle disbursements. So I'll go over that just to let you know where the funds went. For the first three that I'm gonna identify, it's part of the ASAP program through Supreme. Supreme has a program that if you donate $500 to an organization that helps women's health, they will donate 100 for every 500 up to $2,000. So for the first one, Stanton Healthcare, we gave $2,000 to, and Supreme will add another 400 directly to Stanton. The next one is Path of Idaho. We donated $2,000. They added the 400, which will be given directly to them. And Lifeline, we gave them $2,000, and they will get an additional 400. So for those three, they will get 2,400 between us and Supreme. Continuing down for the baby bottles, we gave $2,000 to Birthright of Idaho. We gave $2,300 to the diaper bank, which was really in need. So they're very grateful. We gave $1,500 to Rachel's Vineyard, which helps post-abortion families that went through that. And it's a great organization. And Respect Life here at the church, we gave $200. So an additional $400 left over, which will be used for the purchase of new baby bottles and be given to Teens for Life if requested. So thanks for the parish. It was over $1,200, I believe closer to $1,300 that we raised for baby bottle funds. And they're coming in. So there's bottles here and there that seem to show up, and we're just adding it to the 400 that we have right now, which will go towards that. So that's where we're at. Any questions on the disbursement of the baby bottles? Brother James?
Did you mean 13,000, not
13,000, sorry. 13,000, not 1,300 total. Thank you. All right, any other questions? Brother Fred?
Forgive me, but I'm not sure what Stanton Healthcare is, Path of Idaho or Lifeline. Could you give us a brief synopsis of those?
Yeah, Stanton Healthcare is a pro-life women's health organization that does not do abortion. They're more pro-life and life. So Stanton is usually right next to a Planned Parenthood and give birth mothers an option to go to. So that's for Stanton. Path of Idaho, Brother Corey, could you?
Path is actually, Path got its start at Boise State University and has expanded from there. They're now between Boise State and Canyon County. They actually spend time between both of those two entities. They provide supplies, education, as well as alternatives to abortion. So they actually provide a ultrasound if you need one. They also provide counseling. So they're more of a complete package when it comes to the psychological side of the pregnancy care centers.
Thank you. And Lifeline, do you know?
Lifeline is in Nampa, and Lifeline is, I would say it's almost exactly like what Stanton is. They always supply women's health care, not abortions. They supply women's health care as well as any supplies they would need, including clothing. So they actually have a warehouse where they collect clothing. So, and Lifeline is trying to model itself after one of the places that's up in McCall, Jamie's place. Jamie's place actually does clothing disbursement as well as basic needs, wipes and that sort of thing for the kids. So yeah, that's what Lifeline is.
All three of them have ultrasound.
They do, yes. All three do have an ultrasound, yes. And on the really good night, I'll talk. If we give a report of McCall, you'll learn that Jamie's place up there in McCall is going to be looking for an ultrasound, and they don't have one. And Supreme's ultrasound initiative, what that is Supreme will, if you fundraise half of the cost of a ultrasound, which is the total cost is 24,000. But if you fundraise 12,000 of it, Supreme will kick in the other half. And so we're going to be angling, hopefully someday, for a ultrasound up at Jamie's place in Macomb.
Yep. So look forward to that. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Fred. Any other questions on the disbursement?
The one thing that was important about that ASAP program is that Supreme only kicks in the extra money if it's actually a pregnancy care center.
Mhm.
That's why they didn't do any matching funds when it came to birthright or diaper bank or anything. They only do matching funds or the extra $100 for every 500 when it was pregnancy care center.
Thank you, Brother Corey. All right, I'd like to move on to the second agenda item. Brother Laszlo, we have a presentation for an Oktoberfest coming up in September as a possible date. So, come on up. You want to use this?
Can't have Oktoberfest in September.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it is.
It's spelled Oktober, so we could have it in September.
Okay.
Oktober. Go ahead, brother.
Night,
Go ahead, Brother Lasso.
brother Knights. Last June, we had a discussion regarding doing an Oktoberfest. And since then, we were going to form a committee and we really didn't have all our ducks in a row. So about 3 weeks ago, I started researching that what could we do?
Yeah.
You
That's
can't hear me?
Can't hear back there.
Sorry.
We'll have you hold the mic.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So for the last 6 months, we've been kind of debating this Oktoberfest. And 3 weeks ago, I said, well, maybe we could look into it, what needs to be done. And being a mechanical engineer, for me, it is always just the project. So the project has all the components of it. And so what we came up with that to have an Oktoberfest, you need a band and you need a hall. I came to the church. We have reserved this hall and next door, and we could have 400 guests. And I have also found a band who was available for that particular date. So now there are two motions I would like to do. One is to say, are we going to have one 2023, September 15 or 16? And that is a key item. If you want to do it, I would like to have a motion. And I put my glasses on because I can't read. So the motion is that our council to organize an Oktoberfest to make money for charity on the parish fun night on the weekend of September 15 or 16, 2023. So I need a second and your wishes whether you want to do it or not.
So is there any discussion on the Oktoberfest? We could have a brief discussion, but this motion is seconded now is for to hold the date to go forward. The second motion will cover some of the money items as we discuss it. So this is just to secure the date so that all is aware. Is there any discussion on that?
So we have two dates. We have a Friday and we have a Saturday. Now, the Friday date, you have an evening when we could do it, but people finish off working 5, 6 o'clock. It may be difficult to do. Now, the Saturday date, the only problem is that there is a 5 o'clock mass and it will go till 6. So we can't have any music. We can start the Oktoberfest at 5 o'clock and until 6:15, no noise from us. Afterwards, the band could come for 3 hours and I will have 2 breaks in between. So that is the band. We could have a band, but should we decide, then I have to ask Darrell to sign a contract because without a band, you don't have an Oktoberfest.
Okay, Brother Ken?
Grand night. How is the parish fitting in this? Are we doing this in concert with the parish? Are we doing it by ourselves? What commitment have they given?
So they have committed the date for this and the gym. We don't have a partnership. We still need to proceed forward, build a committee, and move forward with the church to see if they'd be willing to do anything. But for now, it's kind of our part until we form the committee. Brother Laszlo has stepped up and wants to lead the committee, so he will be the chairperson for the Oktoberfest if we decide to move forward. So those are still things that we have time to work out, but we need to kind of start now to get the process going because there's going to be a lot of planning and it's going to take about a year to do it. So at this point, it's still very early and there is a lot of planning to do. But we do have 2 dates in September, a Friday and a Saturday, that are an option. So that's where we're at right now.
So with the motion, would you like it on a Friday or a Saturday? I think most likely it will be a Saturday, and then maybe some of the people who are coming here would go to Mass, and after Mass, I could come over here. So those are the dates. I would think Saturday is the more likely date, unless some of you has different views.
Brother Dennis.
Is this proposal to be an indoor event?
This is an indoor event because as soon as you put it outside, you lost control that who's coming, some of your food tickets, some of your drink tickets. I think outside is more like an afternoon, evening, lot longer, and families and kids, and it's a different event. This will be inside, mainly for adults who can have a beer. So we don't plan to make any money on the basic band and food. But where we hope to make the money is we buy some wine, beer, soft drinks, whatever, and we can mark it up X%, so we get a little profit out of the whole affair.
All right, so with that, we have a motion and seconded for a date. We just need to figure out whether or not it's going to be the Friday evening or the Saturday evening. So Saturday evening was at 5 o'clock, band starts at 6:15, and we'll have the band for 3 hours. And we'll discuss that in our next motion. So with that, do we want to lock in one of these 2 dates?
Let's put number 1 for Saturday. Who would like to have Saturday?
Okay, I think that's a majority. Let's see hands for Friday. All right, I believe Saturday it is. So all those in favor of having it Saturday night and marking the date? Aye?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion is passed.
So we have on the 16th of September, 2023, an Oktoberfest,
Saturday, yep.
Saturday. Well, with the yes answer, I have I think we have discussed basically the time also. We start 5 and we go till 9:30. So I don't need the second motion because it appears that we have set the time as well.
So we need to do another motion for the document.
Which one?
We have to secure the motion. For
Okay. With having that approved, we have the band and Darrell would need to sign a contract because without a contract, we don't have an Oktoberfest. I have a quotation, or what we have to determine now. If we have a quotation for $1,300 for 4 people. If we want to have a drummer, that is number 5 would be an extra $200. However, for a small hall, I don't think we will need a drummer. I think the 4 people should be able to provide plenty of music. They are well-known band locally, and I think that that would be with 4 people. Now, to set up their sound system would be $200. So the total I'm visualizing is 4 people, sound system, $1,500 total. So if that is acceptable to you, then Darrell could sign a contract, and then we have the second component, which is most critical, that we have music. So can I have a motion for asking for this band for $1,500?
Can I ask a question? Yeah. Before I sign the contract, what's the deadline that we have, do I have to do this right away and commit to it?
We need to sign this within the next week or so. I would have to let them know because they are booked up already for next year. It's hard to find a band for next year.
I just hate to sign a contract and then we not do it or something falls through.
We have decided there is an Oktoberfest and now we need to secure the band.
So to give you an idea of how this is going to go, and the reason why we're presenting it tonight is because we have to secure the band. If we want to proceed and have the band, we need to book them soon. So if we do commit for the $1,500 tonight, which will be the 4 members of the band and their sound system for this date, they only have 2 dates available that work with us, and that is, well, the one being Saturday, the 16th or 17th? 16th is available. So we have to secure them for that date before it passes, and then we don't have a band. So this motion is for securing the band and $1,500, and we're locked in. It's not refundable. We have this band regardless. So we still are in the beginning stages of planning this event, but if we're locked into $1,500, we're going to move forward with it regardless. So Brother Chuck, you had a question first?
Yeah, I got a question, a pretty obvious question is, what's the name of the band and do they play German music?
They do play, in fact, at Alpen House. They played for 3,000 people over this last September. So they are well-known people. And if you want to see, I have a quotation. I have the picture of the people. And so if you want to go in detail, I do have the information.
Brother Dennis?
How much beer and wine do you have to sell to pay them?
Well,
You said your primary revenue stream is going to be the beer and wine. So how much beer and wine do you have to sell to pay for the band?
no, the people who buy the ticket for the coming to the Oktoberfest pay for the band and the food, and the beer and wine is separate. People
so
will
that'll-
have it.
So the entry fee to come into the Oktoberfest, as it sets right now, would be the band and the food. So what's that?
How much?
So, well, we'd have to figure out the number. So 400 occupancy minus probably 30 members, volunteers. So what's that? 370 participants that would pay. We'd have to figure out the entry fee for that.
Somewhere $25 a person to participate. And then, of course, they will buy the drinks.
So rough numbers are kind of looking like it's going to be around $5,000 once we do the food drinks, stuff like that. But that, we're not including the entry fee. That'll have to be brought up from, or funds from beer and wine.
$5,000. Maybe $166 a head, $350.
Yeah, so that would be, well, that wouldn't be the entry fee. We'd have to get it from beer and wine sales. So we'd have to come up with an entry fee to cover the 1,500 for the band and the decoration, stuff like that.
So on your table, there are some plans that I have, and I would like to, if you want to go into the details, that it is our goal is to fundraise for charity, a fun parish event. And I would like to form a committee to handle each task by a task manager for a successful event. Being the first Holy Apostles, we have a lot to learn, and we should start small. In other words, we don't go over 400 before growing in the future. Then we can have maybe an all-day affair and thousands people or more. So I have item 1. I need about 9-10 committee members who will help doing their task. And I don't know if you want to read it yourself, or I can read it. That number 1 would be invitation, advertise, advance ticket sales, ticket up the door, payment by check or credit card. So those are the tickets. The reservation of the hall being determined, we have the hall for the 16th, and we need to reserve the band, sign the contract, finalize details. I don't think they expect payment in advance, maybe a deposit or something. And then we have to determine the food, determine the menu, appetizers, dinner, dessert, come up with the cost, determine ticket price, purchase, and deliver to the hall. And I've been to 3 places. I went to Number Run around for sausage makers and so on. There is one in Meridian, a Swiss butcher who makes a pretty good job. And
We could discuss.
Okay.
So we kind of want to discuss the $1,500 now, because this is going to kind of determine whether or not we're going to move forward. There is another option. We did discuss this when we brought it up, that if we feel like we can't move forward with that, we could use a record player or recorded music. So it wouldn't be as good as a live band. So discussion on the live band. Is there any other discussion on the live band? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a professional musician. Personally, I would not play for that, fun like that night.
Okay.
So you're getting a screaming deal.
Okay.
And I suggest you do at least $30 a ticket. I mean, if you go out with your wife to even at cheap restaurants, you're gonna spend $100 more for the night.
Well, the committee will determine the actual cost. I have a lot of information, and the committee will have to discuss it and make a decision. Okay, we go whatever way we're going. I have tons of information because I spent 3 weeks looking into it. So my qualification is only that I've been to an Oktoberfest and I have never arranged one. So we'll see how it goes. But I have friends, I have brother knights in California who have organized such a Oktoberfest, and he's a good friend of mine, and he is providing all sorts of cross-contamination information that I need to be able to do. Somebody will have to lay out the hall and etc.
Brother Rich, you got a question?
The food, Laszlo, is this gonna be catered by someone?
No, the knights will be cooking it
We're gonna
and
cook.
serving.
What are we gonna cook?
We're going to cook bratwurst.
You have potato salad, you have to have desserts. So the menu will be available and it will be written up by the committee.
Yeah, so we still got to figure out those things in the committee. We do plan on cooking the food in-house, getting it from a local distributor, brats, sauerkraut, schnitzel, and some other stuff. So these are all things that still have to be formed in the committee.
Has there been any thought to talking to the people at the Schnitzel?
There's no, this is the Oktoberfest is not schnitzel, sorry.
Where they do brunch, right?
Right, it is different.
So,
And if you,
I'm just saying.
Brother Joe, you got a question?
I've got a question. Have we checked with St. Ignatius, so they're not having some type of an activity event?
I have checked here in the office, it doesn't appear to be a conflict. I have gone over to St. Mark's, I have discussed it with the person who organized it over there, but it was a totally different type of event. They had an extra $4,000-5,000 to spend, and they provided it all free. They had bouncy house outside for the kids, so it is a different event. We're not going to do what St. Mark's did. We are planning for fundraising for charity.
All right, so, yeah, Brother Don?
A question, why did you decide, I know it hasn't been decided in concrete, but why did you decide to start at 5 o'clock? When mass is going on and not just start at 6?
You can have people coming in the hall 5 o'clock. The people who are at mass, but half the people may be not at mass because they go 9 o'clock or whenever, 11 o'clock the next day. So yes, we can, it takes a while for people to come in and have their tickets and sort things out. So 6 o'clock, the rest of the crowd who went to 5 o'clock mass will come over and join us. We won't make any noise. There will be no interference with the mass.
So, Brother James?
To discontinue us going down this rabbit hole, I'd like to make a motion to secure the band.
All right, so there is a motion to secure the band. It was seconded. And a second motion now. So we're going to move on to voting for securing the band or not. So all those in favor of securing the band for $1,500 with no back out. At this point, we still have to set up a committee and move forward with the planning of this whole Oktoberfest. So all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, motion has been passed for $1,500 to secure the band.
Now, all those bits of paper that you have on your table has my name, has my phone number, email address. So whoever decides want to be part of the task manager, I would like you to either send me an email or call me. The best way is to send an email so I know who will be the committee. And please don't distribute this to everybody else because it is my information on it.
Okay. All right, thank you, Brother Laszlo. All right, with that, we're going to move forward. We will set up a committee, so please see Brother Laszlo. I'm going to be sending out emails to get participation. We're looking for at least 10 members to start this committee. Brother Laszlo is going to be heading it up, so please see him after the meeting. All right. With that, I'm going to move on to the next agenda item. So we're going to talk about the clarification on the cinnamon roll FBO recipients. So in October, the October event was for the Special Olympics. The November cinnamon roll FBO event will be for the Jolly Project, or the project is it going to be the Jolly Project, Father, or will it?
Yes, it's not on the menu, brother.
Okay, all right, so it'll go towards the Jolly Project, and that'll be our November event. The December cinnamon roll event will be for the Corpus Christi House. The February event will be for the St. John Vianney Retirement Center for Priests in Boise. The March cinnamon roll event is to be determined. We'll discuss that in the meeting before. And the April event will be for the Veterans Hospital affairs. So just FYI, I want to clear up that. I know, Brother Dennis, go ahead.
Can you clarify what happened to the November one for I think it's fall food pantry?
Yeah,
Originally it was on the agenda, and then again, December was going to be for the Jolly Project.
Yeah.
And,
So
because I think there's some confusion, at least in the parish, as to when the Jolly Project will be announced.
So we are planning to announce it towards the beginning of April. That will be like the 7th of April.
So we're gonna have a fundraiser before we announce the project.
No.
Yeah, we are, but you do it on, we're doing it for the November one.
yeah, so
19th of November.
yeah, we discussed it in the officers planning meeting, and the December, what was the December date, 16th or 17th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
So we were a little bit worried that it was a little late to donate to the Jolly Project by the 17th or
December, yeah.
yeah. So we wanted to move it to November so that the funds could be used to buy items for Christmas and not just kind of dumped on the last minute. You know, you only got what, 9 days, 8 days before Christmas at that point to go out and buy stuff. So that was one of the reasons why we moved it to November. I don't know if that'll work for the parish if we do it before you announce it. What are your thoughts, Father?
I should think it's better that I announce it before you do it.
Okay, so do you want us to hold it back and do it in December 17th?
So let me tell you something about the disbursement of the money. We keep on giving out this money even to January. So
Okay,
it's not just meant for Christmas.
okay,
Even up to January, we still issue out some checks to pensioners and those who are in need. So there is no time you will give us the money as joint project that it will work. So I think December should be a better date.
all right, then we'll switch it back to the December, and we'll do the Corpus Christi in November. St. Vincent de Paul, the reason why it was also discussed in the officers meeting that there's a lot of discussion that St. Vincent de Paul kind of does a lot of their own fundraising. And with us doing the food drive, that we felt it unnecessary to couple them into one of the events with one of these other partners. So that's a reason why we decided not to. Any discussion? Brother Dennis, go ahead.
I'd like to open for discussion. I really hate to eliminate it because the need is so great, I think, with everything that's going on in the world. I don't think we can give them 6 tons of food, but I don't know how long it's going to take for that to be gone. But for us, maybe take a look at this thing instead of, so we're going to move the Jolly Project to December, take this November one that we've got and make it the Corpus Christi house / or homeless / food bank and split the funds with both.
Okay. Any other discussion on that?
Well, then,
Brother John?
I was at the food bank this morning, and I do a delivery from Albertsons. And the amount of food we were getting, the meats and things that are a lot more expensive are kind of down. That's my opinion. Check on all that.
All right.
I think that their need is much greater with this, so with how expensive things got.
Okay.
Stuff that's going to get, stuff that's more expensive.
All right, Brother Dennis?
I'd like to make a motion that we take the November FBO for the cinnamon rolls and make it a combination for Corpus Christi House and St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry.
A second.
Okay, motion and seconded. That means we will split the November between Corpus Christi and St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion has been passed. So I will project that in my notes. And we'll move forward. All right. Any other discussion with any other of the FBO fundraiser people? So we had, to go over it again, October Special Olympics, November Jolly Project, sorry, December Jolly Project, November St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry and Corpus Christi House. February will be the St. John Vianney Retirement Center for Priests in Boise. March is to be determined, and April for the VA. April is already set, so any other discussion on these? All right, with that, it's now in the books. That's what we're going to do. So, all right, I'd like to move on to the November cinnamon roll event. Brother Dennis, if you want to give a.
Thank you, John. We've got a little bit of conflict. Normally we come in on Friday at 4 o'clock and up the cinnamon roll, put it in the refrigerator, and then come in Saturday morning at 7 o'clock and start baking off, and we have to come in again to start frosting. The last event went fantastic, by the way. Thank you to all the gentlemen who came to help. We were out of here in an hour. We came in at 10 o'clock and we got at 11. Now the bakers that came in, JD and myself and Mark, we were here a little earlier than that, but we have a little bit of conflict in that it's fun night on Friday, just that Friday night, the same weekend. So we can't start panning cinnamon rolls until 9 o'clock, because we're usually in the kitchen. So I need, normally take 2 or 3 guys to do that. It takes about an hour. I'd like to get 4 guys committed to helping us on Friday night, the 18th, after they get done in the kitchen. And I'm hoping we can get sneak in there a little bit earlier. And so we get these cinnamon rolls. They have to be panned up Friday night, so they're ready to start proofing off on Saturday morning, so that we can start baking. So I'm looking for four guys at 9 o'clock on
Okay.
Friday night.
Do we have that on our,
I'm still up, so I'm sure all of you guys.
do we have that on our policy?
I'm like here after. And then I would like, we're gonna do the 5 o'clock mass on Saturday night, after mass. We're gonna do Sunday morning at 9 and Sunday morning at 11, after the 11. I'll be there for the 5 o'clock and the 9. I look for somebody to kind of bail me out a little bit and help with the sale on after mass. You guys are really pretty involved with it. Just a matter of standing there and taking the money, to be honest with you, and then carrying the tables down and making sure they're all done. So I'm looking for those 2 positions. There is a deal on the website to go out there and sign up. Dave generously has got it up there, and there's a couple of people who have already signed up. Thank you very much. We need a minimum of 6 guys on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock to cross those rolls. And if more guys get to pass those rolls, and we'll quickly get out of here. We can only make them so fast, but if we can get those guys, so I need 4 guys on a Friday night, and then we have at least 6 guys on Saturday morning, and then somebody to help with the 11 o'clock match. Thank you.
Thank you. Please go to the website and sign up. It's a big relief when we see names up there and we're not just waiting to see if somebody shows up. So please go to the website. All right. Also, the Advent books are in. We have some here tonight. If you want some, please see Daryl. We plan on distributing them on the weekend of the 19th and 20th of November, and also the following week, which was the 26th and 27th, which will be the beginning of Advent. We will be selling them just across from the cinnamon rolls. So please, if we don't have a volunteer sign up, can we please get one online? Yep. So look for that online. It'll be on in, sometime this week. So please sign up. All right. I do have one more thing that I want to talk about really quick is December 5th's meeting. Tom McCaffrey from Supreme will be here to talk to us as a group. He'll be here for the 4th degree as well. And it's going to be a great meeting, Brother Ken. If you want to discuss that a little bit real quick.
For those of you who don't know, I was Tom McCaffrey's deputy grand knight when I first joined the order. Tom was, you know this too. Tom became a grand knight and became a district deputy, and he really worked on bringing people in and that type of thing. One year, he almost by himself brought in 83 people. He was Knight of the Year for California, and then Carl Anderson brought him back to Supreme to ask him how he did this. And at the end of that meeting, he offered Tom a job. Tom is the Vice President of Internal Affairs. What does that mean? All these changes that you see, the shorter ceremony, the trying to get the family involved, that's the captain's doing right there. So part of the thing that he's going to be doing out here in December is he is Supreme Representative to the state meeting going on. But he also wants to speak to councils too. So Whitney being the largest council here in the state, he asked me if I could arrange with the Grand Knight, the Faith Navigator, about coming out here and talking and making a short presentation and answering questions. So I know that the Grand Knight is going to be sending out an email to everybody. So if you have questions, the captain can answer it during the session here. Ask your hardest question. He's not afraid of standing up there. If you don't know, Tom used to be is a former nuclear submarine captain. So he's used to working under pressure. So, is that enough?
That's good. Thank you, Brother Ken. So I'll be sending out an email, and please respond to that email if you have a question. And if you want to be called upon to ask that question, please let me know. If not, we could do like a general question and get it to them. So be looking for that email. All right, I'd like to ask the worthy district deputy, Corey Newell, to please give your report.
Thank you, Worthy Grand Knight. So thank you for the opportunity to speak. I commend this council on your engagement of your members, as well as just bringing those members in. You have made this council and this parish and this environment so attractive to the outside community within our church, but at the same time, there was a philosophy going around that, you know, we picked all the low-hanging fruit, and so we're having to do some extra work to get people to want to join. And a lot of the membership that was looking to this council was like, well, a lot of work and no play, and that's kind of balanced out a lot, and it's really paid dividends. And the engagement of this council has been just incredible. I have been going throughout my district, and every time we have a state meeting, I fly the flag of this council. And I just cannot say enough for how proud of you that I am. You guys are in STAR, and that is no small feat. That is something that you need to realize is not an easy thing to do, especially for a large council. Your quota last year was, I think, 19 members, and you also won the Contest of Champions Award, which the Worthy State Deputy was able to present you with. And that you're to be commended. And the fact that you listen to your membership and that you engage them on more than just a level of, well, you can come to a couple of meetings or you can come to a couple of fish fries. The fact that you have your committees filled out, the fact that you make this a safe place for people to bring their families and bring their bring their loved ones is amazing. And I commend the Grand Knight for that. I commend your officers for that. I commend you as men and your families for all that you've done. So thank you for that. It makes me proud to be able to mention you when I say that.
For the district attorney. Would you please present these Star Council Awards to our officers that earned them? Or-
Oh, sure. Okay, so basically when a council wins Star, which in case you don't know what the Star Council Award is, you win the Star Council Award by a combination of 3 other awards. The first award is the McGivney Award. The second one is the Founders Award, and the third is the Columbian Award. The Columbian Award is there are 4 different categories that you can do works of charity under: faith, family, community, and life. And you satisfy those by doing either one large program or you did 4 smaller ones, 16 smaller ones. And you satisfy the Columbian Award through those different activities. The McGivney Award is your membership. Like I say, your council brought in the most members of any other council in the state at 19. And then the third thing that you did is that you attended at least 2 fraternal benefit nights and were able to listen to either Ed Slack or Tom Higna when it came to that presentation. So I'm happy to present these 3 little pins for each of the officers. The first pin is for the membership director. Was your membership director last year, Ray?
Ray.
Yeah. So Ray Henson, I'd like to present you with your Star Council Award pin. The second pin that I'd like to present is for the program director. And that program director was Steve Monty, your deputy Grand Knight. And last and certainly not least, I want to present the final Star Council Award pin to your CEO and your Grand Knight, Dave Sergio. So you're going to be commended. And, those 3 men did a lot of the organization and got everyone, got the cats to walk in the parade. You guys showed up, and I commend you for that. I just wanted to mention a few quick things. One thing, your pastor's here this evening. We just need to be in constant communication with the pastor, with you, Father Vitalis. And you've already mentioned about the Jolly Project, but if there's any other things that you need some help with that this council can do with respect to Advent and the Christmas season, let us know. We want to be able to take care of that for you. The next thing I want to mention is that ASAP program when it comes to the pro-life. It stands for aid and support after pregnancy. Very often, especially now that we're in a post-Roe world, a lot of the women will ask, well, what are you going to do for me? I'm already pregnant. How are you going to help me? Well, this very program, the ASAP program, is supreme solution, but it's also, as Knights of Columbus, that is our solution to making a difference in the lives of these women who have nowhere else to turn. They either need a reason to keep their child or they need supplies or resources to keep their child. And we have those alternatives, and that's what the ASCP program is for. And I commend you for getting that done. You're one of the first councils in the state that's actually used that program. It's always good to use Supreme's money for good. They have no problem coming to us to collect all of our per capita funds, but it's nice to use their money for a change, especially to make a difference. So the last thing I want to mention is the Worthy field agent, Andrew Sorley, had mentioned about the different programs that he has within the field agent. But I did want to mention we have a fraternal benefit night coming up. Tom Hickman is going to be doing a presentation on November 29th, and you'll be receiving a lot of that information. You can distribute that out to the membership. If you don't get that, let me know and I can give it to you because Trey Shore's got it.
Okay.
So I can send it to you. But the paternal benefit night, it's changed a little bit since it was presented last year. So there's an additional requirement to win the Founders Award instead of just promoting it and showing up for it. They have now a number of requirements. So there has to be at least 7 participants in the paternal benefit night just to earn the qualifications for the membership award. So that'll be on the 29th. So if you have any other questions about that, Andrew, if you could field some of those questions for me, I'd appreciate it. So otherwise, have a very happy Thanksgiving. To the veterans, thank you for your service. And make sure tomorrow that you go out and prayerfully vote your conscience when it comes to making a difference in our state. So thank you for the night.
All right. Is there any other unfinished business at this time to be brought before the council? All right, I'd like to move for the good of the order. Do we have anything for the good of the order? For the rich?
Where's the green light? My daughter and son-in-law both have COVID. Have a tough time with it. And Tony Fugletti's wife down in Empty, very bad on.
Okay. Please keep them in your prayers. Brother John?
I've got a brother-in-law who was given 2 weeks to 4 weeks for the past.
Thank you, Brother John.
His name's John.
His name is John? Okay. Brother Joe?
I'm leaving no brother behind. Dan Brittany, his son, the 10th, is going to have a knee replacement. He has a lot of faith, but like anybody else with surgery like that, he's a little anxious, so he could use some prayers. And then, of course, Paul Edwards, his continued healing and learning how to drive his car with hand controls.
Yeah, please. You want to let them know about what happened with his foot and his toe?
Totally, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a persistent infection that was not getting resolved. And so the only, and that was in right foot. And so the only way to take care of it, preventing it from being life-threatening, sepsis in particular, they amputated, they had a partial foot amputation from the ball of his foot out to his toes. And he had one toe amputated on his left foot. And the latest follow-up, good results so far. He has the supporting boot, so he now has the hand controls placed on his vehicle and he's practicing driving. And the comical thing, but you'll laugh about it, he goes to use his foot and muscle reflex. Everything's up here on the steering wheel. So great spirits and his family's doing good. I let him know that we're open to help him, just so he got to let us know.
Very good. And thank you for assisting him and his family with getting communion and the meals that you got him. Thank you, Joe. That was great. Good job. Hi, brother.
Thursday brown night. For Bob Hackett, he's got dementia, and he was, always our coffee maker for all of the affairs that we have. So we need to keep him in our prayers.
Thank you. Anything else for the good of the order? All right. With that, please stand or kneel. Father Vitalis, can you please lead us in our closing prayer? Use the mic.
I apologize for coming late. I was over there for the school board meeting. So
No need to sorry.
for all these intentions and the intentions that we have in our hearts, we pray, our Father, who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end.
May the souls of the faithful departed, through the mercy of the Lord, rest in peace. Amen. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
May the Almighty God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Peace be with you.
And with your spirit.
Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. All right, with that, I call this meeting adjourned.